Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-woo!
Guess what today it is? It is hump day. Welcome to another Do What Is Necessary live stream, coming to you live from a cloudy, kind of warm. It's autumn here in central Ohio, here in the Midwest. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know you can hear me okay. We get all that technical stuff out of the way. I always like to see where people tune in to the show. We've got Matthew Phillips returning to us this week. Thank you so much. But yes, let me know whether or not also this is the first time you're catching the show as well. Because I always like to see those who tune in for the very first time, what they appreciate about the show. And if you have no idea, if you've never seen this show before, you have no idea who I am. My name is Andrew Moon. I'm the Orange Nomad. I founded Orange Nomad in 2014 after getting out of the IT business for 30 years. I have started Orange Nomad as my mission now is turning hustling entrepreneurs into calm, unstoppable CEOs. This is the Do What Is Necessary live stream, which we started on April Fool's Day of 2020, right as the demic started, as a way of gathering together those in the tech community and entrepreneurs all over the world. Yes, this has been an absolute labor of love. Today we're going to do some show and tell. So we're going to do a little bit different on this show today. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do some behind the scenes again, but we're actually going to show you, I'm going to show you how I go about repurposing content for social media. Lots of interest. So if you're watching this on the replay, say what's up in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions throughout. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from as well, because I know that we get hundreds of people will watch this broadcast after the fact. I know there's IT Nation is going on right now in Florida for those ConnectWise partners in the MSP world. So I know that there's a lot of people, lots of stuff to take away your attention. But yeah, let me know again that you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up in the comments before we get rocking and rolling here. But I want to give a shout out to those that actually return every single week and have supported this show since we started. I absolutely love connecting with people from all over the world. And this show, this medium has allowed me to do that. And I am extremely grateful to those who contribute, those who tune in every single week, and those who watch faithfully on the replays and share their comments, share their takeaways from these weekly live streams. So I'm going to give a shout out to, we picked up a new sponsor, the Tech Tribe. If you're part of the Tech Tribe too, let me know in the comments. But if you have no idea what the Tech Tribe is and you're an IT entrepreneur, you owe it to yourself to check out the Tech Tribe. I wish I would have had this whenever I ran my MSP for 10 years. It is the absolute best IT community on the face of the planet. Nigel Moore, based out of Australia. Nigel and I go back 3 or 4 years now. So I'm glad to be a part of that, to be associated with just a stellar organization. So let me pop that back up on the screen. So if you have no idea what the Tech Tribe is, go to orangenomad.com/Tech Tribe. And as a sponsor of the show, Nigel has willingly offered a 40% discount off of your first month's membership. The monthly membership's only $49. I mean, it is literally less than a cup of Starbucks every day to get access to a phenomenal IT community with resources, courses, workshops. And like I said, the community, bar none, is absolutely phenomenal. So I cannot say enough about the Tech Tribe, and I was super excited when Nigel and I had a call a couple weeks ago, and he agreed to sponsor the show, and I am completely honored to have him as part of this weekly live stream. So Matthew Phillips said, yes, the Tech Tribe changed our business so good, and that's I hear time and time again. Like I said, I wish I would have had this resource. As an IT provider, I could have gone so much further, so much faster having a resource like that. So, but yeah, so let me know if you're just joining the show too. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm going to make a couple edits here real quick on a couple screens before we get started. But yeah, just let me know. Obviously, Matthew can hear me okay. So he's tuned in loud and clear. So I'm going to pop that back up on the screen. So excellent. So now we will get rocking and rolling. But before I do, I forgot last week to give away. Nigel has gone another step further with his sponsorship. He's actually giving 2 copies of his books away, absolutely free. So if you're watching this live on this live stream, post in the comments free books. You will actually get hard copy books sent to you anywhere in the world. If you're watching this on the replay, put in free books in the comments, and we'll make sure that Nigel gets those straight out to you, Nigel and his team. But yes, he's graciously provided those as giveaways as part of his sponsorship as well. Extremely grateful to Nigel and the friendship that we have. All right, without further ado, let's get into what we're talking about this week. So let me just get my notes. I have my checklist of what we want to cover today in talking about content. And sometimes it is difficult to come up with ideas for content. But we're going to talk all about that. So let me just look over here and see who we have. Somebody that commented free books. And I'm going to go slip over to LinkedIn, and that is Judy Hayes. So congratulations, Judy Hayes. You get our cowbell. So we'll get those sent out to you, Judy. If you just direct message me your mailing address, and we'll get those sent straight to you. Nigel and his team will get those sent out. So thanks for tuning in, Judy. I love having people that are fellow marketers out there. We all can learn so much from each other. So I love having people like Judy, great wealth of knowledge, join the show today. All right, so let's talk about content. Let's talk about the reason for this. Like I said, for me, coming up with content can be frustrating, especially things to post on social media. And there is so much information out there, especially if you're in the IT community. Our vendors give us information that we can repurpose out on social media. However, I have found, even running my IT firm for 10 years, that personalized content, the content that we make internally, is the stuff that gets the most engagement, the most conversations. And I'm finding the same when we test this with our MSP clients and our coaching clients, that personalized content is really what allows that know, like, and trust factor, and allows you to build that through that constant education and repetition through social media. So I'm going to give a shout out to a couple people that just joined us. Barbara Heffernan from St. John's, Canada. So let's give Barbara, welcome back. So I thought what we would do is just talk about where the idea of repurposing, and I'm going to show you how I repurpose content, and specifically this show that you're watching right now. How the exact process that I go about taking this show and repurposing the content, and I'll show you just how much content is available just by doing things like this. And the concept's not, anything new per se. I'm going to switch screens here. Gary Vee actually posted this a few years ago, and I respect Gary Vee. Some of the mantras I disagree with. However, I think we can learn a lot from anybody. But this right here, his content pyramid, that I think he posted this in 2018. So I came across this a couple years ago, and we started implementing this internally. It is how to take content, take the effort that you're putting into creating content, and make it go further. And this is really how Gary does it. He takes that core pillar content, is what he calls that, and he repurposes that into micro content. That's short form pieces of content, articles, memes, images, quotes, stories, mashups, remixes, rants, GIFs. So you're basically taking like this show is usually 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to show you how I slice this up and make micro content and then distribute that across social media. So that is the whole point, is working harder, smarter, not harder. And that's really, again, where this concept came from for me, was this content model. of taking the effort you're putting into content creation and making that work go much further. And why is that important? Why is it important to post personalized content of your own on social media? The last research that's done, people are spending anywhere from 2 to 6 hours a day on social media. So your customers, potential customers, are on social media 2 to 6 hours a day. So instead of constantly coming up with content over and over and over again, I'm going to show you how to maximize content in formats like this. That could be a webinar, could be a white paper, it could be a blog post. How to take that and make that into different content to make that effort go much further. And I'm actually going to walk you through the process that, like I said, that we use, and I'm going to show you the tools that we use to repurpose our content. So if you have questions as we go along, pop those in the comments. But I'm happy to go into more depth. But I'm going to kind of go through my process, my checklist, and our system that we have for creating this micro content. But like I said, if you have questions as we go through about tools, I'm going to show you, like I said, what tools I'm using and how to use the tools that you might be using. So I'm going to take a drink real quick. So Barbara said, yes, people relate to you. So hopefully, that's really what we're going for here, is that personalized content. Okay. So now I'm gonna switch screens here, and I'm gonna show you, like I said, exactly how I go about creating content. So I'm going full screen, and like I said, I'm gonna walk you through the process. I have a lot of people have asked me, and I've been promising to do this video for a while, and especially I've had quite a few folks are curious how I make these videos, and let me know if you've seen any of these short form videos on my LinkedIn feed. And these are basically just short videos that are usually around a minute, no more than like 2.5 minutes. But I'm trying to keep them actually under a minute. So I'm just going to play this one real quick, and then I'm going to show you exactly how I built this. To me, that renders the tool useless, because if you don't stay in business long enough, the tool's irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter what tool you choose. Like, if you don't, like, that to me is number one. Like, you will not survive, you will not grow, you will not do anything if you can't be in business next month. All right, so that's one video out of a live stream interview that I did a few weeks back with Chris Tim. And I'm going to show you exactly how I make this video. But like I said, let me know if you've seen those videos on my LinkedIn feed. But I'm going to show you, like I said, I'm going to show you exactly what I do, and I've repurposed these over on YouTube now. So again, without creating more effort and coming up with different things, I'm able to take that content and repurpose it, make it stretch a lot longer. So I'm going to start with what I do first. When I do this show right here, I actually start with a checklist. I have a template for exactly how we produce this show. So think of it in terms of things that you're doing. This could be a webinar. This could be a live stream. But think in terms of longer form content. This could be a live event that you put on as well when we get back to doing that. So what we're doing here is trying to increase our effort, increase our brand, increase SEO, and reach audiences who don't see these broadcasts the first time around, who might not join your webinar the first time around. How do we get them to watch the replays to take that effort? So the first thing I do, and I have a list of the tools that I'm going to use that is in the description as well. This particular tool that I use to manage all of our projects is ClickUp, and this is what I use to manage everything in our business. But specifically, we're going to look at this. I've set up a tutorial, but as you can see, I have a checklist for this show and things that we're going to do before this show and after this show. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of behind the scenes and as to how we create this content. And it's a system. So the first thing I start with is a template, which is, and nothing's filled in here, but we start from scratch. And it's obviously the title of the show, a description of the show, and then at the bottom, we put this in this post that will actually automatically feed this into our social media posting platform using Zapier. So yeah, there's a lot to what we're doing here. But this is generally this same, I don't have to recreate this content every single week. When I create a show, all of this text that is goes on LinkedIn, goes on YouTube, goes on Facebook as the description of this show is automatically done. The only thing I have to change at the top here in this template is the title and the description. That's it. So I have a checklist for how we go about doing things before the show. So there's actually two checklists. I have a pre-production workflow, and I'll give you a behind-the-scenes sneak at that. So these are the things that we do before getting things set up. So we come up with a folder structure in Dropbox for us. That's what we use internally. Then I come up with a topic for the show. I craft a draft in TubeBuddy, which is our companion app to YouTube. We create the show graphic, and I'm going to show you how we did that. We used Canva. And then I publish the event to Restream, which automatically creates this live stream event on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then I share that post on LinkedIn with all my company pages. And then I go in and update our podcast page, which is our podcast replays and these live show replays. Then I come up with the content for the show, edit my scenes in Ecamm, and then there's 2 tasks in here to do QA checks. One day before the live stream, and then before I actually go live, I do a 1-hour live stream check just to make sure everything's working and nothing's broke. So that's my pre-production checklist. Sorry, let me go back into that screen. Let's go look at our post-production workflow. And this is where that content repurposing is going to come into play. So the post-production workflow, we're going to go in depth with this right here, is how do I create those short video clips. But as you can see here, I have checklists for my admin to do certain things. And this is a template that automatically gets created, automatically makes those assignments for my admin. And my admin she knows exactly what to do with that video when we go off the air. This is her checklist for taking care of everything for the show. So now, like I said, if you have questions, pop those up in the comments too. So now I'm going to go into my checklist, and then we're going to go inside of the tools that I use to create this. So this is my checklist for creating these short video clips. So what I generally do, like I said, I take anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds to sometimes 2.5-minute clips that I can post out on Repurpose on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So I'm creating from one show, I'm creating multiple forms of content. So this right here is my checklist for creating all of those snippet videos. And I'm going to walk through exactly how I do that. So the goal here is to build up an asset library so that you're not having to go recreate content every single month. So everything in our business, and I've gone back, we've been using ClickUp since April. As you can see here, I have 85 videos. We just started our podcast a couple weeks ago. So I have 4 podcast episodes, and that one's due to be released tomorrow morning. So Thursdays at 5 a.m., our podcast goes out. And then we also repurpose parts of that podcast in smaller snippets, just like what I'm going to show you today. But I have right now, since April, I have 85 videos that I can repurpose as evergreen content and reuse from previous broadcasts. And we're just getting started. We're going to go back and take our older videos from the beginning of the year all the way back to April of last year and hire an editor to go through and make this content for us. So I'm going to switch over and show you what that looks like and how I actually do that using Adobe Premiere. Let me know what tools that you're using right now too for doing video production or video or just any content creation at all. What tools do you use to create content? I'm always curious to see. I always come across somebody who's running through a new tool that I might want to check out. But this right here is the video that I just showed you at the beginning that was on my LinkedIn feed. This is the exact components of how to create this video. So what I'm going to do is walk through, I'm going to switch back and forth between my checklist here. So I'm going to go back to my checklist, and we're going to actually take last week's show, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make those video clips. So, see here. I'm pretty sure that is, I think that's Judy. Sorry, Judy, you must have your LinkedIn settings a little high here. She says you use Camtasia, Canva, and Otter.ai. I haven't checked out Otter. I've heard of it. I haven't had the time to really do any research on it. But that's good that you use Camtasia. That seems to come up quite a bit, at least for IT providers seem to use Camtasia. I started using Camtasia and have switched over to Premiere just for a few various reasons. So I've had Adobe products for a while. So excellent. So I always like to see. Matthew says he uses Premiere Pro, so that's awesome. This is going to make great sense to you, Matthew. Premiere Rush and Canva. So awesome. So I'm going to show you exactly how I make these videos in Premiere Pro, Matthew. So this will make a little bit of sense to you as well. Judy says yes, she uses Otter, is great for transcription and SRT files. So yes, I use Descript for that, and I'm going to show you that as well a little bit later in the video. So I was actually using that before Adobe Premiere came out with the ability to transcribe my videos right in Premiere. So anyway, so let's go ahead and start building a video. So this, like I said, this is exactly what we're going to build, and we're going to create it with a new video from last week's show. So what I'm going to do is go in here. I thought I opened that project. So okay, this is 11.3. So this was last week's project. So what I'm going to do is show you. So I have this folder structure here. I have video, audio, graphics, sequences, Premiere files, and then I have a style that we use for our transcripts, our captions. So I have a specific style. I want the fonts. So again, it's a template. I don't have to recreate this every single week. So what I'm going to do is come in here. I'm going to drag over my Finder window. And again, the process is going to be similar if you're on a PC. I use a Mac. So our folder structure is a template. So this is the template that we use to create all of our video projects. That way it doesn't matter what we're creating. I have a templated folder structure of where everything is supposed to go. So I don't have to guess where people put things. People don't have to guess where to put things. And we have SOPs on how to do that, how to create the folders, how to naming conventions, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to come in here to last week's show. So we're going to go to 11.3. I'm going to go into my footage, and then video, and then A-roll. So there's my restream project from last week. So I'm going to take that guy and drag him into my video. And just like that, it is now imported into Adobe Premiere. So there's my restream file. And then I'm going to right click on that and scroll down, and I'm going to make a sequence, new sequence from this clip. And that's going to drop this sequence on my timeline. So this is the entire show on my timeline. Now what I'm going to do is take the time to go through and scrub the video to find my key takeaways of things that I want to repurpose. So let's see here. Barbara says, is Adobe Premiere in the Creative Suite? It is, yes. I have the entire Creative Suite, so you get everything. You get, Premiere, everything, and I want to say it's less than $50 a month. You really can't beat it. We were using Adobe for a lot of things. Premiere is pretty much the only thing that I use. I occasionally use Photoshop, but most of our design stuff went into Canva, just because I can do pretty much everything out of Canva. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and zoom in and just start scrubbing through this footage and make subsequences is what I do. So let's just go ahead and scrub through here. All right. So last week, if you haven't got that show, I'm going to put a link to the description in that as well. I did a full behind-the-scenes studio tour of exactly all of the gear that I have set up. But like I said, I'm gonna link that if in the replay as well. If you're orangenomad.com/gear, that will show you all the gear that I walk through in this video. So let's just say I'm going to take this part of the video where I start the. All right. Sorry, right here I'm talking about audio. So, and again, I'm just going to give you a sample. We're going to do this so that it doesn't take hours and hours and hours, but everything is done here. So audio-wise, like I said, I have the SM7B from... All right, so what I'm going to do is just show you how I do that. So what I do here is take the razor tool, and if you're using Camtasia, there usually is some type of like slicing tool to slice the video. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and on my keyboard, it is the C. We'll bring up the blade tool. So let's just say I'm going to cut that to right here. And then I switch back over to my select tool. And then I click that snippet there. So let's just say that this is a snippet that I want to make a short form video out of. Then I right click on that. I'm actually going to come over here because again, I have I'm going to show you where I put those. So inside of folder number 4 is our sequences. And then I have nested sequences. So I'm actually going to click on that folder because I'm going to show you why in a minute. So now when I come back here to my timeline, if I right click that and then I scroll down and make a subsequence, it actually made a subsequence up here, which is just that snippet. And you'll see that right over here. So there's my subsequence. So that is my snippet of that I'm going to take now. So I'm going to right click on that and do the exact same thing over here. New sequence from clip. So now, as you can see, I've only got a shorter form of that. And let's just say how long that is. It's 6 seconds. Sure. I just got this. I had the Rode PSA 1 boom arm. All right. So let's just say that is a 6-second clip that I want to show. So now what I do, again, going back to my checklist. So I've copied the raw footage, I've scrubbed through, and I've usually have gone all the way through the video. And just to let you know, I can typically make anywhere from 8 to 10, 12 snippets from one broadcast. So I can make 12 other pieces of content from one show. So I usually take the time to go through, create all of those snippets first. But we're just going to do one today for the sake of time. So I scrub through the footage, make those subclips, and then I used to use Descript, which Judy uses, Otter.ai. All that is a way of getting an SRT file, which is the captions, which, you know, most people watch videos. If you're scrolling through LinkedIn, they watch with the audio off. So this actually, I'm going to show you how to burn the captions into the video as well. We were using this steps right here, this step using Descript to transcribe the video, exporting to MP4, and then adding the captions back to Premiere. We've been able to eliminate these steps by using Premiere. I think it was 2 versions ago. They enabled the ability to create captions right in the video, or right in Premiere. So I'm just going to come back over here, and we're going to actually do that. So if I click on this, my timeline, this is my 6-second video. And then I come over here and I click transcribe sequence. You'll actually see that I'm going to use the default settings that are in here. I usually don't change anything. And then I click transcribe. And as you can see over here, it actually uses Adobe's servers to transcribe that sequence. And like I said, depending on how big the video is, this length of time can vary, but we actually are saving I think we added up. We're saving about 45 minutes of production time having this function baked inside of Premiere. So as you can see right here, it has now made that transcript. Now if I come over here to captions, actually we'll go here and then I create this. Yeah, it does the captions. So let me drag this box up so you can see it. So it's going to create a captions from that sequence. And then usually, actually, this is a little bit different. It changed a few things on me the other day in this last update. So actually, I'm going to hit cancel real quick here because that's why I have down here, I have that the Orange Nomad style is our SRT style format. So just find the button, bear with me here. So it used to be when I hit create, I could select from the drop down and choose our preset, but it does not look like it's. Bear with me here. Let me go to captions. There it is. Okay. So if I go up to captions and then do caption, create new caption track. Now I have under style, that's where I can select my Orange Nomad style. So that is pre-formatted to put things exactly where I want them on the video and in the format, the font rather, of that we want. So I click OK. And we'll just scrub back here and see if it put it in here. Benefits of doing this live. It doesn't seem to be working for me. Let's see here. So now I got nothing on. All right, so let's go ahead in here and try this again. There we go. All right, so doesn't look like it did my formatting. So anyway, so let's just speed up here. As you can see in the middle there, that's my captions are in the middle of the video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this again. So just bear with me here. That is not our format of our captions. So all right, let's try this again. So right click here. All right, so let's try this one more time. Retranscribe the sequence. While that's doing that too, another benefit, Barbara says she's hard of hearing, so captions are key for her. And that actually was brought up to me a couple of years ago that made the importance of that, Barbara. I had a client that took one of my courses, and that's one of the things he said. I didn't have the captions embedded in the video. So I've tried to be very diligent about making sure that everything we do has captions to it. So just for that reason. So, all right. So if we go here, it's not popping up. So see if I can do this again. So the option to do the captions. Anyway, we could get lost on captions for a while, but that's basically what I do is put the captions into the video. So that is this step here. Add the captions to Premiere. And now I'm going to switch over and show you how I create the graphics in Canva. So this is step number 1, is having the video with the transcription, and I'll have to see what's going on with the transcription. It's not working properly for me today. Okay. All right. So now, like I said, this is the benefit of doing stuff live. So I gone through my checklist. So let's switch over to Canva, and I'm going to show you how we created the graphics that go inside of here. So this is the graphic right here that I have in Canva. So what I'm going to do is flip back over into Premiere and show you that I have a template file inside of Premiere. Because what you see here, this video size is 1920 by 1080. So this is going to make sense when I go back into Canva, so because the size changes. So if I come back into our sequences, and as you can see, I've made templates for at least 5 LinkedIn short videos. So if I double click on that, you'll see in this window here, this is now 1080 by 1080. So that is the format that you want if you're going to repurpose smaller form content on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and what was the other? Instagram. So 1080 by 1080 is the size that you want. And I've created a template that automatically resizes that for me. So what I'm going to do is go back over here to my sub clip, and I'm going to drag that into here. And there's my sub clip. So I'm going to scrub back. As you can see here, there's my clip, and you'll see it doesn't really look right in this window. So if I click here and then come up to Effects Control, there we go. And then I come over here to I don't want motion. So I'm going to resize this clip real quick here, if I can. It's fun when stuff doesn't work and you do this live. There it is. Okay. So inside of here, into the motion, and then go to scale. And I believe that's 56.4 will give you 1080 format. So that looks a little bit off. So let's go to 57. Yeah, so that's just about up to the edge. So 58% over here, moving that down to 58% will get you lined up in here. So now when I switch over to Canva to make the graphics actually going to sit over top of this. So this will make sense here in a minute. All right, so this is the graphic inside of Canva. So you can easily make one of those as well. Like right here, Instagram post, 1080 by 1080. You can create a blank one, but we've already created a template. So as you can see, I'm going to pop this up. You can see how many of these we have created for short form videos, just using the exact same template. So if I come up here, what I'm going to do in the timeline is right click, duplicate that. So that's my starting point for this week's video. So I click right here. And the two things that I'm going to change, three things actually, I'm going to change this graphic that goes in the middle, which is the same graphic that sits up here behind this banner, and then change the text. So let's just say for this video, we're talking about audio. All I do is come over here to click on Elements, then do a search, and let's just do, I'm going to do a search for just microphone. And then I'm going to click, actually I'm going to click on Photos. And just, I'd look through here, choose a photo that looks interesting. So let's just say this one, drag that in there, and then bam, there's my background image for this post. So I take the exact same one, drag it in the top, and as you can see, it's actually put in the background of the top header as well. So all I do here is change, let's go ahead and change the text. So let's call this one Choosing a Microphone. Actually, let's do this. Microphone. So there's my graphic, and that's done. So what I'm going to do is create two of these actually. So I'm going to come down here, do the same thing, duplicate this, and I'll show you why in a minute. So this is the main overlay graphic. So as you're scrolling through LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, this is what catches your attention first, is the cover graphic. So then I come back over to here, click on this internal image, and then I just delete it. And as you can see, the background is black, but I'm going to show you how to use the transparent background in a minute. So let's go ahead and save those. So I come up here to download, hit the drop down box, and I'm going to select PNG file. As you'd see, 1080 by 1080. Select the number of pages that we want. So I'm just going to select this one, click done. And I'm going to download that. And then what I'm going to do is actually put that in the folder for this project. So if I come up here to video projects, into footage, graphics, still, and we're just going to call this overlay 1. And then I'm going to come back in here and I need to save this graphic. So I download here, do the exact same steps. It's a PNG, but here's the key difference with this one. You need to select this right here, the transparent background, because that actually cuts out this part here, which is the black background. So all you're going to have is the header and the footer is going to lay over top of the video back in Premiere. So go here to download. And I'm not a Premiere Pro. I know enough to be dangerous, and I've learned just going through some online courses and watching video tutorials on YouTube. So actually, I think I'm going to select this because I think I selected all of them. Then go back here, PNG there. I think I selected all 74 pages. I don't want that. So just page number 2. All right, so now we've got overlay 1. I just click that and call this one just do overlay 2. You can name those whatever you'd like. All right, so now I'm going to come back into Premiere, and I'm going to go back, click my Finder window, go into my graphics folder, and there's my 2 overlays. So I'm going to grab both of these. Then I'm going to come back down here and drop those in my graphics folder. Okay. So, any questions so far? Let me know. I just got my mouse stopped working here. All right. So now we're back in Premiere, and we're going to go ahead and take those overlays and drop those into our timeline here. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, and then I'm going to take the video footage, just drag it a little bit over to the right, because I'm going to make this gap here at the beginning, and that's where I'm going to drop the cover graphic. So if I come in here to graphics, and here's our overlay 1. So this is our cover. So I'm going to drag this into my timeline here at the top. And then I'm just going to make that a little, just grab it from the edge here. You can see that it turns red, because I don't want this to going over the whole video. I just want it to go right there at the beginning. So there it is at the beginning. So when I start the video, it's just going to show this graphic. And then as soon as it comes into here, that's where I'm going to put overlay 2. Drop that on the timeline. And as you can see, I now have my header and the footer, and the video shows through the background. That's the importance of having the transparent background. And then what I do is drag this to the end of the video. And then, so basically our video with our cover, our overlay, and the entire video is done. And now I'm going to go back into Finder window, and you'll see I've got an end screen. So I'm going to drop that right here at the end. So if you've seen any of those videos of mine on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, at the end of the video, I've got just a graphic that overlays at the bottom and just lets people know that the full video, so this is the snippet, the entire video is in the link of the description. So that takes them to watch the entire video. All right, sorry if I'm not boring you to death. Let me know if you have any questions on anything I did so far. So basically, like I said, we're creating this right here. So minus our captions. I don't know why that's not working today. So this one has the captions at the top. We've got our overlay graphic, or cover graphic, overlay, end screen, video. And then we're going to add just a little bit of flavor to the video itself. And one of the things that I do with, just scrub through that, just make sure everything works. PSA 1 boom arm. Okay, so that's the entire video there. So now what I want to do is add some background music to this. You heard some in the video, but typically it's when I do these, snippets, there's no audio in the background. I just played that when I was doing that particular live stream, so it already has audio in it. But one of the things I use for audio, as you can see here, I add background music and an end screen. And everything that I use for audio is Epidemic Sound. I think it's like $10 a month. I mean, it's super cheap to get just thousands of audio files. So generally what I'll do is just pick one song that is kind of fits most of the videos I'm creating. And then I will come back into Premiere and take that audio. I save whatever audio clip that I have selected, and I've got a whole library that we have downloaded of audio. So let's just go in here and we'll do and pick this guy here. So we want to do this one. So let me zoom in so you can see it on the timeline when I get back into Premiere. Just drag that down into your timeline. And then bam, you now have audio sitting behind your video. So let me zoom out real quick here, because I obviously don't want it playing the entire time. So I'm going to do the same thing we did before, which is grab the end of the video, or the end of the audio, and drag it to the end of the video. So basically that background track is going to play the entire length of this video. But one of the other things you want to do is you click on the audio track and reduce the volume. You want the volume to play in the background. And up here, see if I can get my mouse, zoom in mouse work. Being temperamental with me today. My plug-in that I have for my mouse today. All right. So up here, go to level. And then I usually make that -35. That seems to be a good audio level so that that will play in the background. So that is pretty much it. So those are all of the components of making this quick little video. And then all I do in Premiere is come up to File, Export, and then go to Media. And that's going to pop up a window where I can go ahead and change my video format. So typically what I do and what is recommended is H.264. And then I usually do match source, high bit rate. I usually don't change anything about the video and the export. Usually the default settings work pretty well. So I'm going to come up here and maybe I'm just going to make sure that it's going to go into the proper folder for this particular show. So I go to Output, Video, LinkedIn Shorts. So it's going to save, I can change the title and then save it right there to that folder. And then if you're an Adobe user, one of the things that I do, you can either export it straight, which will create the file. I usually do all of these and add them to a queue, which opens up Adobe Media Player. So I make all of these snippets and then actually go through the encoding process. So that's pretty much it for creating all of these little snippets of video. And one of the other things to note for the captions, so if you come under the captions window, you usually don't have to do a whole lot of settings in there. So you can mess with the settings depending on if you're watching this in a different country. There may be some settings that you need to change there. But I typically, like I said, I don't usually change any of these default settings. You can publish these, if you want them to go straight to Facebook, you can also do that out of here and save that process. You can actually export the video and send it to social media all at the same time. So for the purpose of what we're watching here, I'm not going to go through the whole export process and do all of that. But that basically is going to create my LinkedIn short. I'm going to do that 7, 8, 9 times out of one video, one broadcast. So any questions on anything in Premiere? This process is real similar with Camtasia. Like I said, it is the exact same process here, is slicing up your video, making your graphics, and then kind of building those into smaller segment videos. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments. Post those up in the comments as well. If you want me to go back and redo anything, let me know. Okay, so now what I want to do is upload to social. Once I have all of those, we've created those assets in ClickUp. What I use for posting these to social media is CoSchedule. Let me go ahead and do this too. I'm going to put these in the chat before I forget all the tools that I'm using. And a lot of the links that I'm going to put in the chat also have free trials as well. All right, so I just popped those in the chat for you. Barbara says, yes, one of her cats has been fascinated. Hopefully we didn't put you to sleep. I know, like I said, I don't do a lot of these tutorial type videos on this show, but I just have had a lot of people ask me about it, so I figured I'd I'd just show you the rough process that we have for creating this. So what I do inside of CoSchedule is actually take those 10 videos that I would have made. And as you can see, I've already pre-programmed a lot of things into my social media channels already. So I can either come down here on a day and click the plus sign. Like, let's just say we've got some empty content. So it looks like we've got a lot of empties here. So let's just go here, do social message. I'm going to select all my profiles, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my video that we just made into here. So this is where I would drag the video in. So I'm just going to take one, for instance, one that we've already uploaded. Let's just say this one here. Pop that in there. So there's the video. I would type any text. Get my caps lock off. So the text of your post, you can put your link in there to watch. That's usually what I do. I have the link to watch the entire YouTube rebroadcast. So it takes them out to my YouTube channel. And then I schedule that for whatever day that I want to schedule that, and then select the time. I usually let CoSchedule do that for me. And then I click save. And then it goes on my calendar. As you can see here, I'm not going to do that one. It actually puts the posts on my calendar. And those are the times and days that we have posts going out. The thing with CoSchedules, let me know what social media tool that you use for posting to social as well. Barbara says, yes, you have a clip of her cat watching. I do want to see that. That would be funny. But yeah, let me know what tool you use for social posting. But I've chosen CoSchedule. I've tried Buffer, Hootsuite for doing these, kind of bulk uploads or posting, having things posted ahead of time, or scheduled ahead of time rather. But one of the things that I love with CoSchedule that I haven't found with any other tool is the ability to go back through and take content that I've already made and add it to what they call is requeue. So this basically reshares and gets more mileage out of my post that I've already made. So if I add this one to requeue, I can have different categories in here as well of, different groups. But I'm just going to say, okay, we're going to put this in evergreen content, and this message never expires. So what it's going to do, I'm going to go back to my calendar in a minute. As you can see in my evergreen content, I now have a bank of dozens of content, videos, pictures, whatever content you put into CoSchedule. It'll actually fill in the blanks on your social media calendar. And that's what I like about it. I don't have to come up with stuff every single day or every single week. I just create a baseline of content, and you'll see this little hover over that little requeue icon. If I don't have anything scheduled that day or that time, it will go into the requeue and put one of those former posts in. It basically fills my calendar for me with previous content. And I absolutely love that feature with CoSchedule. So let's say Judy says, Agora Pulse has the ability to schedule a post multiple times at intervals you select. So let me know if it has that too, Judy. If it has the ability to, because what I do is I tell it how many times a day that I want to post on the different social platforms, and it will automatically pull in that content. Like if I don't have anything scheduled today, it will automatically go find content for me and plug it in for me. So let me know if that has the ability to do that, because I've not used Agora Pulse. Yes, headline analyzer. Yes, I have used that, Judy. I absolutely love that, and that is generally what I use to determine how well something is going to do on social media. But that is a great point, and that is actually built into my CoSchedule calendar here. So let's just say I'm going to come in here. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can do, bulk upload, bulk project importing, so you can create projects as well. I'm just going to go in here and just do, let me see. Let's just go to like a WordPress. That's the other thing too. Let me know too, Judy, if Agora Pulse allows you to connect to WordPress, because this can actually make blog posts for you as well. So let's go in here and let's just do, test blog post. So I'm going to show you the headline analyzer that's built into CoSchedule came out with as well. And that's actually built into the product here. So as you can see, this button right here, headline analyzer, is actually built into sorry, I'm not going to log in, but yeah. So the headline analyzer will tell you how well that graphics, I don't have that account set up on this computer. So, but what it'll do is it will analyze a headline and let you know, based upon the different types of words and how many words you have selected in there, how well it will actually do on social media. But that is a great feature. I know they've made a couple changes this last week with headline analyzer as well. So let's see here. Matthew says, do you limit your content to once a day? That depends on the platform, and I'll tell you why. That is a great question, though, Matthew. Let me go in here so I can actually show you. Like this one right here is. So this is, I've got different posting times for different, like, see here. Yeah, Instagram, I post a couple times a day. Just because people are on there more often than other platforms. LinkedIn, I will generally only post once a day on my personal company, the different company pages that I have. Twitter, I post multiple times a day. But yes, you can go in here and set how many times a day that you post as well. So if I come into Requeue, actually, I think it might be in settings. Yeah, I think it's in settings in here. Yeah, you basically can tell it how many times that you want to post. You can limit it to how many times it puts in the requeue functions as well. Yeah, this is where you would put, so basically you go to settings, power ups, and then the requeue down here, and then intelligent automation settings. And then you just select like what times of day that you want to post, and then you can set your time zone. So it actually will match your time zone as well. But yes, to answer your question, Matthew, I generally try to keep it to like, go back to my calendar so I can show you. I generally try to keep it once a day with LinkedIn stuff, a couple times a day on Instagram, a couple times a day on Twitter, and then the same for Facebook, usually once a day on my personal page and company page. So let's see here. So Judy said, yes, that is a cool feature you just showed. That's what I like with CoSchedule versus other products. I don't have to think about it. Plugs things in automatically for me. And then she said, yes, Agora Pulse has a calendar view, but you have to manually select a post to add it to an open slot. So, okay. So that's how I found, I think Buffer was the same way. Not sure what Hootsuite's doing these days. And Judy said, yeah, Agora Pulse does not integrate with WordPress. So, which is, again, it's that for me, this tool works because I can do multiple things with it. So you just have to pick your poison and figure out what works for you. I just have found CoSchedule is super helpful to be able to use. So Barbara said, yep, just found your Instagram. And let's see here. And that's a great point too. Agora Pulse has a listening tool where you can actually respond to comments directly within Agora Pulse. And that, yeah, I do like that. CoSchedule has that function as well. If you go up here, click on the little hamburger icon, and then go to conversations, it has the same thing. I can respond back to all of my social media accounts will show up in here, and I can respond back. I don't have to log into each one of those to respond back to conversations, likes, all that stuff. So yeah, I do like that. I do like having a tool that manages those things for me as well. But yeah, let me know if there's anything you want me to go back through. Like I said, I know this one went long. I just figured we'd do something different this week with the show. But yeah, so those are the tools that I use. And like I said, these are, let me just show you what that post looks like. So this is one of the posts that I have done. Let's see, this is LinkedIn. So I'm just going to click view posts. You can actually see what that looks like on LinkedIn. So as you can see, there's our cover graphic, there's our overlay, and you can see my captions there at the bottom that are baked into the video as well. So now it doesn't matter what video or what platform I show that on, the captions are baked in, so those follow the video. So let's see here. Any other, like I said, any other questions, please put those in the comments. Happy to answer any questions here. So yeah, Judy said, yep, I'm liking the pricing better with CoSchedule, 29 versus 89. Yeah, it is a phenomenal tool, Judy. Price is a concern for you. CoSchedule, let me just see what, I mean, I think they're, just going to pull up their pricing page real quick. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so $29 if it's billed annually. It's $39 if you go month to month. So actually, let's go ahead. I'm gonna turn dark mode off because I think it's messing with the page. Either that or their page isn't rendering well. Yeah, so that's the full marketing suite for $39. And you can connect MailChimp to that. You can connect a lot of different tools to CoSchedule as well. So we actually have this so we can create blog posts, which go to my different blog sites, my membership sites, all of my social posting. Everything is done out of CoSchedule. But all of that, going back to our original conversation, was taking forms of content. If you do webinars, you do seminars, you do live streams, take that long form content and slice it up into smaller micro content and make it work harder for you. And especially when you can plug it into a tool like this that will keep reposting multiple times in perpetuity, really. I mean, whatever you have settings that you have in Requeue, it will continue to add those to your social media posts. And I'm doing this with my podcast now. We're doing the exact same thing, the exact same process. I'm taking my podcast, slicing that up into smaller segments, just short little audio clips, and posting those out. So, and again, it drives it back to my the entire podcast. So you can listen to the whole thing, but it's just small snippets that are 30 seconds to a minute that grab your attention. And let me see here. I think we did one the other day on my. Let's go to my LinkedIn feed. So I can show you what those look like. Like this right here is a audiogram, which is just a short video of 52 seconds, which all of this is done right here out of Descript. I'm going to do an entire video on how I created our podcast, graphics. We started that like 3 weeks ago. We did our podcast, and all of this video is repurposed. I don't have to go into Premiere or do any of that. I could, but this is actually a function built into Descript that will make these audiogram videos for me that I can then post out. Again, taking one piece of content and making it duplicate itself. That's where repurposing really saves you time, effort, money, and all of the headache with trying to find new content. But yeah, just to see how content works, I use a tool called Shield.ai, and this will measure all of your LinkedIn content. So I can actually see what video content is working, whether it's video, whether it's audio, whether it's, pictures, posts of our podcast. I can see what that content is actually doing on LinkedIn. And I love that tool for being able to do multiple things. So All right. And again, I know we're going long. I'm running out of gas here. I really like how you're using CoSchedule. Definitely worth checking out. Yeah, we've been using it for a while, Judy. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. And if you look in the description here, orangenomad.com/CoSchedule, that'll actually give you a discount off of your first month. I think that actually gives you a 14-day free trial if you just want to check it out. So let's see here. Judy said, yes, interested in how you set up the workflows in ClickUp, maybe another live session. Yes, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these type videos showing you how to create workflow, how to create templates, how to create SOPs on doing marketing. Just because for a lot of MSPs especially, like that's just not something we have time to do every single day, every single week. But I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I've used to batch process, create templates, so you're not having to redo the process every time that you sit down to put out content. So let's see here. Barbara said, yes, thank you. Extremely helpful. So thank you guys for hanging out today. Let me know, too, before we wrap up, if there's anything you want me to go back and show you. I'm happy to backtrack and show you anything. I know we went quick and was kind of convoluted, but I just figured Sunday night I was like, okay, let's do a video on how we redo this, how we repurpose our content. So we're probably going to do some follow-up videos to this as well. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't super scripted how to go about doing this. Hopefully it was helpful. Yeah, Judy said, outstanding session today. Thank you. I appreciate you hanging out with us today, Judy, and Barbara, and Matthew. So, let's see here. Judy said, where did you get that clapping soundtrack? Epidemic Sound. I use all of the sound clips. Everything we use on this show is from Epidemic Sound, which I like with that because I can license this across every platform. I can use it in my podcast. I can use it on my live streams, YouTube videos, LinkedIn. So it's fully licensed content. And again, if you go to orangenomad.com/epidemic sound, I'll also give you a discount. I think they'll give you a 14-day free trial using that link as well. So Matthew Phillips, thank you so much for hanging out. Love these live shows. I appreciate it. That tells me a lot. We keep creating content. Let me know what content you would like to see me create. Judy's given me some ideas on ClickUp workflow. I've got tons of videos that I have planned for ClickUp. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I've tried it out, started it. Absolutely can't say enough about ClickUp. And they just had their annual conference yesterday, so even more cool stuff coming out with ClickUp. I think they just raised like $400 million a couple weeks ago in Series C funding. So yeah, just a phenomenal product. I've been able to get rid of a lot of software and move down to ClickUp. So, but yeah, let me know if there's any other topics you want us to cover in further episodes. But like I said, I know we went super long with this one. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. Hopefully I didn't kill your cat, Barbara. But yeah, send me that video clip too. You probably already did. I think I saw that pop up. So excellent. Thanks for hanging out with me this week. Happy that you spent some time with me. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Yep, ClickUp is a Monday alternative. I've heard a lot of things about Monday. I moved from like Trello, Acelo, Teams. I moved a bunch of different apps into ClickUp. But yeah, I'm going to do some future videos on ClickUp as well. So, okay, that's it for me for this week. Thank you again for tuning in. I will see you next week. Barbara said, yes, she sent me that cat video. Thank you. Same time, same place next week, but let me know if there's a topic you want me to pull out of our archive, or if there's a topic you want me to cover. Happy to do that. But until then, always stay humble and kind, and always do what is necessary. I'll see you on next week's show.